Good morning, St. Richards. I'm happy to join you for Friday Assembly. We have something very special to celebrate this month of April. It is National Poetry Month. Now, how does that make you feel? Are you kind of excited by that? Some people are. Some people think, yeah, I love poems. I love reading them. I love listening to them. I even love writing my own poetry. And some of you may be thinking, nah, I don't like poetry, it's not for me. Well, I'm here to tell you that you've probably been reading and listening to and enjoying poetry and you're not even realizing it. What about some of these books? Good Night, Construction Site. What do these all have in common? Llama Llama, Red Pajama. What about the Gruppalo? These are all rhyming books, right? They have a rhythm to them. When I'm reading these stories, they kind of, they've got that rhythm and that flow to them, and you're not even realizing they're actually poems. You're just enjoying the story, right? So you might be surprised by that. You've liked some poetry already. There are some books written in verse, some novels. This one is called The Crossover by Kwame Alexander. Not all poetry rhymes, of course. So this is a book written in poem form. It tells a story written in poem form. And that's a really cool way to enjoy poetry and not even realizing you're just enjoying the story, really. So there are collections of poems like Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. And what about Roald Dahl, Love Him, Dirty Beasts? That's a collection of his really, really funny poems. You have to check that out sometime. And then there are collections of poems that are not just by one poet, but by many different poets. And often they're divided into different subjects. Poems about animals, poems about nature, funny poems, all different kinds. So this is another really good one. So my challenge to you over these next couple of weeks is to find some poetry to read and enjoy, either alone or together as a family. There are a couple of websites you can go to that I recommend right now. I can't list every single one, but the Indianapolis Public Library website is a great resource for finding poetry books, in any form. If you go to indypl.org, the librarians have put together some lists that include novels for kids written in verse, like this one, some poetry picture books, and lots of other collections of poetry. So if you need help accessing those or figuring out how to find those lists, please send me an email and I'm happy to help you find them. Obviously, the library, the neighborhood branches are closed right now. So this is a great way to find ebooks, and that's what those lists will help you get to. The poetry books in electronic format that you could be able to read on your tablet or on your Kindle or whatever you're using to read. Okay, another great website for while you're home is called the Poetry Foundation's website. And that includes a section devoted to children's poetry. It's got some great poets you might not have ever heard of before, and also some poets that you're very familiar with there, and some neat videos. So if you go to poetryfoundation.org, that's a great site. So check that out also. So my challenge to you is to go to your bookshelves and pull out some of those collections of poems that you might not normally read, and flip through and find a poem or two that you really enjoy.
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Green, Alice's mom, and I produce a web series about poetry called Hours Poetica
We are going to read a poem called Spring.
by Carla Cuskin.
I'm shouting, I'm singing, I'm swinging through trees.
I'm winging sky high with the buzzing black bees.
I'm the sun, I'm the moon, I'm the dew on the rose.
I'm a rabbit whose habit is twitching his nose.
I'm lively, I'm lovely, I'm kicking my heels.
I'm crying come dance to the freshwater eels.
I'm racing through meadows without any coats.
I'm a gambling lamb, I'm a light leaping goat. I'm a bud, I'm a bloom, I'm a dove on the wing.
I'm running on rooftops and welcoming spring.
Do the Rosa Parks say no, no. Do the Rosa Parks throw your hands in the air. Do the Rosa Parks say no, no. Do the Rosa Parks tell them that's not fair. Somebody's lying. Rosa Parks him. Somebody's crying. Rosa Parks her. Shame the bad, comfort the good. Do the Rosa Parks just like she would. Sit down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sit down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do the Rosa Parks all over town.
All right, we are ready. Little orphans Annies come to our house to stay.
To wash the cups and saucers and brush the crumbs away, to shoo the chickens off the porch and dust the hearth and sweep,
And make the fire and bake the bread and earn her board and keep, and all us other children when the supper thing is done.
we sit around the kitchen fire and has the mostest fun, listening to the witch tales that Annie tells about. And the goblins will get ya
If you don't watch out. Oh!
See, it's pretend. It's okay.
Once they was a little boy who wouldn't say his prayers. And when he went to bed last night away upstairs, his mammy heard him holler. And his daddy heard him bawl.
And when they turned the covers down, he wasn't there at all, and they seeked him in the rafter room, with cubby full and press.
They seeked him in the chimney flue and ever else, I guess, but all they ever found was thus his pants and roundabout. And the goblins will get you if you don't watch out.
And one time a little girl would always laugh and grin,
And make fun of everyone and all her blood and kin. And once when they was company and old folks was there, she mocked them and shocked them and said she didn't care. And this she kicked her heels to turn and run and hide. There was the two great black things a standing by her side, and they pulled her through the snow, so she knows what she's about. And the goblins will get you
If you don't watch out.
and little orphan Annie says, when the blazes blue,
and the lamp wick sputters, and the wind goes whoo. And when we hear the crickets quit and the moon is gray,
And the lightning bugs and dew is all squenched away. You better mind your parents and your teachers fond and dear.
and cherish them who loves you, and draw the orphans tear, and help the poor and needy ones that clusters all about, or the goblins will get ya
If you don't watch out.
The Farmer and the Queen. "She's coming," the farmer said to the owl. "Oh, what shall I do? Shall I bow when she comes? Shall I twiddle my thumbs?" The owl asked, "Who?"
The queen, the royal queen. She'll pass the farm today. Shall I salute? He asked the horse. The horse said, nay.
Shall I give her a gift? He asked the wren, a lovely memento for her to keep. An egg, or a peach, or an ear of corn. The wren said, cheap.
But should I curtsy or should I cheer? Oh, here's her carriage now, what should I do? He asked the dog. The dog said, bow.
And so he did, and so she passed. Oh, tra-la-la-la-la. She smiled, she did, he told the sheep. The sheep said, bah.